Democrats care more about illegal aliens than their own constituents. Republicans know our duty is to represent American citizens. Democrats voted against Kate's Law. How about what's Kate's Law? How about this? And now they even threw out the charge about gun possession, which was like the smallest. He got away with murder, got away. Can you imagine? But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. What a horrible thing took place in San Francisco with that incredible, beautiful young woman holding her father's hand and saying, "Daddy, Daddy, what happened?" Can you imagine the shock of it? That's just incredible. And this lowlife gets out. And people all over the world see that, and they say, what the hell is wrong with the United States of America when they see that? Last year, more than 80% of House Democrats refused to support our heroes, ICE. And nearly every House Democrat voted in favor of sanctuary cities allowing illegal aliens with severe criminal records to terrorize innocent communities. And these two guys were tremendously successful in North Carolina because all we kept doing is saying, the governor and all of these Democrats, right, Dan? All of the Democrats want sanctuary cities, and they let somebody out fairly recently, and that somebody wreaked havoc. I won't even tell you it was so horrible, but wreaked havoc in a community. Instead of taking them, giving them to ICE, we would have done what you had to do. But I'll tell you, the folks at ICE and Border Patrol and law enforcement, they're not treated properly, and we respect them. Most Americans really respect them. Yeah. You know, we have MS-13 coming in. These are the toughest people you've ever seen, but they're not as tough as ICE. And ICE runs into their nests. You know, they call them nests. These are people that don't even like guns because they're not painful enough. They take young women, they slice them up with a knife. They slice them up, beautiful, young, in a case, 2 16-year-old young girls walking home from school. They took them and they sliced them up because it was more painful. They killed them. Animals. And then if you use the term animal, I mean, look, you know, Nancy Pelosi attacked me because I called them animals. Remember that? She said, they're not animals, they're human beings. Well, I don't think so. But ICE will go into a nest. They call it a nest. We have a lot of them congregating, up to no good. And ICE will run into that nest like it's like they're having breakfast with their family on Monday morning. They're tough. And they're patriots, and they love our country. And we're throwing out MS-13 by the thousands. We're throwing them, we're getting them the hell out of our country. And even tough sheriffs say, you know, sir, better that they do it. And I agree with them. Better that they do it. And the sheriffs are great, but they say better that they do it. And then you have the Democrats, they want to keep them around, and they want to actually take care of them and protect them. And I don't know, if you tell me that's good politics, and I don't even care about the politics, but it's so bad for our country. But if you tell me you can win with that, with open borders, with no ICE, you don't have ICE, this country would be overridden. We take out thousands of people, bad people, really bad people. Public servants make a sacred pledge to defend the nation and its people. Politicians who support sanctuary cities have forsaken this solemn vow, instead of making a shameful pact to shield and harbor criminal fugitives at any cost. They will do it at any cost. But I'll tell you, people in California, and I see it more and more, they don't want sanctuary cities. It's the politicians that want them. A lot of the people are revolting in different communities. They don't want sanctuary cities. They want to be safe. They can't be safe with sanctuary cities. They're protecting, in many cases, criminals. In July, Montgomery County, Maryland, declared itself a sanctuary city for criminal aliens, forcing local jails to release these dangerous inmates instead of safely handing them over to ICE. Just hand them over to ICE. ICE will take care of the rest. Less than 2 months later, 8 illegal aliens have already been arrested for rape or sexual assault of a minor. Last month, local officials in Montgomery County released an accused criminal alien rapist back onto the streets, defying ICE's very powerful request to turn him over to them. In March, local officials in Durham County, North Carolina, ignored ICE and released an illegal alien arrested on felony robbery charges. A short time later, that same illegal alien was charged with murder of a 19-year-old woman in Georgia. This is happening, by the way, these are stories. I could give you these stories all day long. I love the angel moms. I just love those women. I got women and families, but I got to know a lot of them, what they've suffered and how they've suffered. And they're scorned by the radical left. They're scorned. Who could scorn a person who lost their daughter, put in an ash can and burned, stuffed into an ash can and burned? And they find the person, and it's like, who could endure what they've been through? And it happens a lot. Few stories, it happens a lot. Far worse than what I'm telling you tonight. Far, far worse. Democrats believe our cities should be sanctuaries for violent criminal aliens. Republicans believe our cities should be sanctuaries for law-abiding Americans. Democrats also believe any illegal alien who merely sets foot on U.S. soil should be automatically released into the interior of the United States and then given free health care for life. These craven policies impoverish U.S. communities while enriching human smugglers, traffickers, and vicious criminal cartels. 208 House Democrats, nearly 90% of the Democrat caucus, also voted against notifying ICE whenever an illegal alien tries to buy a gun. Meanwhile, Democrats want to confiscate guns from law-abiding Americans, so they're totally defenseless when somebody walks into their house with a gun. It's like, whatever you want, whatever you want. I'm defenseless, whatever you want. How crazy is this? Republicans will forever uphold the fundamental right to keep and bear arms. Thank you. The agenda of the Democrat Party is the demolition of the American middle class, because that's what happens. Our Republican agenda is to make our neighborhoods safer, our families stronger, and our middle class bigger and more prosperous than ever before. And we're on our way to doing it. But we have to win this next election. You know, I said the other day, and I don't know if anyone said it before, but it sounds like it should have been said many times before, but it's like a plant. You grow the plant, you put the plant in, but it hasn't really grabbed on yet. And it won't grab on. It needs a little time. We need a little time. We've done tremendous changes in our country, tremendous changes, and we're going to do other changes, a lot of really great other changes. But we need that additional time to let it grab on, because they will destroy so much of what we've done. And we can't let that happen. You won't have energy. You won't have business. You won't have jobs. You won't have income. It'll be a disaster. So you have to fight like hell. I tell the story of a man who hates me, one of the most successful business people. Always hated me, and I've always hated him. I can't stand that guy. And I meet him recently, and I see him, and he's working with my people on helping us out with fundraisers and everything. I say, what are you doing here? I'm trying to help you get elected. I said, you got to be kidding me. And then I looked at him and I said, but actually you do have no choice. Isn't it true? You don't have a choice. He said, no, I really respect what you've done over the last 3 years, almost 3 years now. And I really respect, and it's been great for business, and it's been great for jobs. I have many more people working for me than I had when you became president. And it's really incredible what's happened. And for the first time in my entire life, I really like this guy. Although he's a tough guy. He's a bad guy. But no, he's one of many. I go to audiences. I was joking one time recently. I walked up to him. I said, listen, I don't have to make a very long speech. You really have to elect me. Whether you like me or not, it makes no difference. Because our country will go to hell. If any of these people get in, it'll go to hell. So I'm going to leave now. Goodbye, everybody. And I joked. And then I came back and I told. But I said, you know, I was joking, but I'm really not joking. You have no choice. Because whoever they put in, the saner they are, the worse they're doing. And whoever they put in, it looks like it's going to be a revolution to the left. They're going to take your money. They're going to take and very much hurt your families. I just don't think people can allow that to happen. We have a country that's doing, I think, better than ever before. The economy is the strongest it's ever been, most powerful, our military, all of the things we've discussed. You have to fight so hard that we win this election. You have to fight so hard. I had a big meeting today on ethanol and the farmers, and it was an incredible meeting. And I sat around, and Chuck Grassley was there, and Joni Ernst, and John Thune, and Mike Pounds, and so many, just a whole group of great people. And just sitting around a room. Ben Sass, who's actually become very good over the last year. We had a little arguments before, but doesn't matter. Ben Sass was there. We had just a great group of people. And as we were sitting in the Oval Office talking about farmers, I realized that all of these people have to make sure that we win, because the farmers will be totally put out of business. Many businesses will be put out of business. I just don't even know what they're thinking. What are they doing? What are they doing? And I said to some of the people around the table, strong Republicans, but really people that just love the country, I said, you really have to make sure that we win, because if you don't, this country's in such trouble. So I used to talk about 2016 as being a very important election, and it was. But in its own way, this is, I'll never say of more important, but I can almost say of equal importance. Because everything that we've done, everything that we've gained, and the biggest gains are to come, because the hard work of getting it approved, you people were involved with so much of it, it was so hard, and we got things done. I mean, those tax cuts, all the things we did are so hard. We would have had health care done, and we will get it done. If we get back the House and if we keep the Senate and keep the presidency, we'll get it done. We would have had health care done, except for we had one little surprising vote late in the evening, but we would have had it done. We would have had it done, and we'll get it done. If we get back the House, we're going to get it done as sure as you can be. But even on health care, we've done such a good job. And with the individual mandate and all of the other things we've been able to do. We're fighting for everyday citizens who work hard, pay their taxes, raise their children, follow our laws, serve our communities, respect our police, and believe in America with their every ounce, really, of their heart and their soul. We're fighting to protect their jobs, to defend their families, and to ensure their children can live the American dream. You know, the Republican Party is actually loved in this country, and I think in a certain way loved like never before, because they see that we're fighting for this country. We're fighting for what we grew up with, what the values that we want. The Republican Party, you know, some people probably take it a little bit for granted, but you really are. You're loved out there. I see it. I see it all the time. Whenever I saw it in North Carolina the other day, I'm backstage waiting to go on, and so many people have come up to me and they say, sir, thank you for saving our nation. Well, you're equal to me. What you've done is incredible. Some of the things that you've done in a short period of time is pretty damn incredible. A nation's first duty is to care for its own citizens. And that is why we're working to give the American people a high-quality, low-cost, and this is what's going to happen. We want a low-cost health care system with more transparency and more choice. You know, we're doing transparency. I think you've all seen that. And a man came in who's an expert. He's a tremendous, tremendous man who I have a lot of respect for. And he said, transparency. I said, explain transparency. Sounds very simple. And I got it done. This is where people can go to hospitals and price, and they can pick their doctor. He said, sir, this is bigger than any health care you can do. You watch. And it'll be put into effect. Secretary Azar, who's doing an incredible job, it'll be put into effect fairly soon. We signed it about 4 months ago. It's being worked out. People are able to go in and negotiate the prices. You know, you have these horror stories where a woman will cut her hand and go into a hospital. You don't ask how much, but they'll go into a hospital and have their hand, and then they'll get billed $5,000. And they don't have $5,000. The horror stories are unbelievable. And we went through it, and some of you were in the room when I did signings, but we're having transparency where you can have lists of prices. When you have some problem, they list it. You can go and negotiate prices. You can go to the drugstore and say, well, we want to see how much is that, how much. You know, right now you can't even do that. They don't let you do that, but now we do. And we've opened that up too. We've done a lot. Right to try is something we've done a great job. You people have. You have to see the results on right to try. But a person can be terminally ill in the old system, and we could have a drug that we know works, but it's still going to take another year or two of testing. And would tell the person, I'm sorry, we can't let you use that drug because it may hurt you. Well, you're going to die within 3 weeks or 4 weeks. You're terminally ill. They've wanted to do this for 45 years, and it's not as easy as all that. The country was worried that they'll sue the country. The doctors were worried they'd sue the doctors, sue the insurance companies, sue the pharmaceutical companies. I got everybody into a room. I said, listen, what we do is we sign an agreement where we guarantee, and a tough agreement, where you guarantee that we have no liability, the doctor has no liability, the pharmaceutical company has no liability, and various other things. He said, and everybody's happy. Then they said, well, we don't want them on the list. If a person is terminally ill, pharmaceutical companies, I understood that, we don't want them on our list because they do a list of success. And when a person is very, very sick, maybe toward the end of their life, terminally ill, we don't want that person on our list as a sample, as a test sample. I said, I understand that. So we're not going to have that person on your list. When you do this, we're not going to have that person on your list. We create a separate list of very, very sick, terminally ill people. But for your list, we're not going to put it. They said, wow, we like that. And we got it signed. And you have to see the success. People used to go to Asia. They'd go to Europe. They'd go all over the world looking, if they had money. Most people didn't have the money, so they go home and they die. Now they have the right to try, and I congratulate you on that, because you were the ones that really did a job. And Greg was great, wherever Greg may be. Is Greg here? Greg, where's Greg? Oh, boy, you stood up fast. That's good. Thank you, Greg. I'd call Greg and I'd say, man, you got to get it done. And it wasn't easy like people would have thought. Do you agree with that? It was not easy. We had more people coming at us. Thank you very much, Greg. It's a fantastic job. And a lot of other folks in the room. That's why we're ending years of economic surrender, and we're confronting China's chronic trading abuses. For years, past leaders let China freely loot our economy, racking up trillions and trillions of dollars in costly trade deficits. Now the world is on notice that people aren't going to be able to do that to the United States anymore. They're not doing it anymore, and they know it. They know it. They get it. They come to me and they see me, the leaders, I know them all now pretty much. Some I have great respect for, some I don't get along with as well. You know, there was a poll recently that Obama is much more popular in Germany than I am. I said, of course he is. He's not saying to Germany, you got to pay us for the military. He's not saying to Germany, why are you paying billions and billions of dollars to Russia for a pipeline coming in, and then we defend? How about that one? We pay billions of dollars to Russia, and then we defend Germany from Russia. Figure, does that work, right? Does that work? Give Russia billions and then we defend you. Oh, that's a wonderful deal. We got plenty of those deals. That's one of the better ones. With your help, we will also achieve a historic victory for the American farmer, rancher, and workers by replacing the horrible disaster, to me, one of the worst deals ever, NAFTA. And we're replacing it with the USMCA, which really is incredible. Got to get it up for a vote. They got to put it up for a vote. By the way, the Democrats are going to vote for it. Unions love it. Farmers love it. I would say unions like it, but they like it. They hate NAFTA. It's their all-time least. Manufacturers love it. The farmers are desperate for it. It's so important. And let it be bipartisan. I told Nancy Pelosi, Nancy, put it up for a vote. It's going to be bipartisan. You can have all the credit you want. You have to do something other than try and impeach somebody that didn't do anything wrong. You have to. I said, it's hard to impeach somebody who didn't do anything wrong. The Mueller report is out. There's no collusion after 2.5 years. Think of it, how ridiculous. I collude with Russia. In fact, Russia said, you know, if we really did pick him, we made a real bad choice. Think of it, even tonight, I'm talking about we have the strongest military. We're spending billions and billions with strongest military, right? We have the strongest energy. Hillary wanted windmills. She wanted solar. Solar's fine, you know, small potatoes compared to what we're talking about. Doesn't have the power that you need. It's someday good. I love solar. I think solar's good, but it's limited. The wind is very expensive because you put up those windmills. I know it very well. First of all, they're made in Germany and they're made in China. Think of the pollutants that go in the air when they're making these massive steel things. If it's anywhere near your house is way down in value. Try dropping a windmill someplace close to your house. Try selling your house. They make noise. They kill all the birds. The energy is intermittent. If you happen to be watching the Democrat debate and the wind isn't blowing, you're not going to see the debate. Charlie, what the hell happened to this debate? He says, darling, the wind isn't blowing. The goddamn windmill stopped. That windmill stopped. Republicans know that American families are the true backbone of America. That is why I was the first president to propose nationwide paid family leave in my budget. Very important. Women want it. Our goal is to ensure that every American family enjoys an amazing quality of life. Together, we're going to fix our housing finance system. We're working on that very hard to protect the dream of ownership for the next generation. We're going to make new cars more affordable and much safer. My administration will soon issue standards that will save families thousands and thousands, as I said, of dollars per car. We're going to fight for the future of cities like Baltimore that have been destroyed by decades of failed and corrupt rule. The left-wing agenda of total government domination, crushing regulation, crippling taxes, unrestricted migration, and think of this. It's undermining all law enforcement. They undermine law enforcement, and they devastate America's inner cities. They've been devastated. And even the cities like Los Angeles, look at what's happening. It's like, look at what's happening. San Francisco. Take a look at what's going on. And we're going to have to step in and do something about it because we can't allow that to happen to our great cities. Los Angeles is a great city. We can't allow it. And in the not-too-distant future, you're going to see, we're going to step in. We're not going to allow it to happen where major companies are leaving their cities. They're leaving our country when they see that. You walk in, they pay a lot of rent. They walk into a beautiful building, the best street in California, and you have a site that nobody even can believe. Nobody can believe, and we're going to have to do something about it. And we will do something about it. We're going to give them notice. In fact, we gave them a notice today. Clean it up. You got to do something. You can't have it. These are our great American cities, and they're an embarrassment, what the Democrats have let happen. Republicans want to rebuild our inner cities and provide a future of limitless opportunity for all Americans. And Republicans believe that parents should have the right to send their kids to the school of their choice. So just in concluding, in everything we do, Republicans are fighting for the values that bring us together as one nation under God. We support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. We stand up for the heroes of law enforcement. We reject globalism, and we embrace patriotism. We believe that there is no treasure on earth more valuable than our American citizenship. We believe that children should be taught to love our country, honor our history, cherish our heroes, and always respect our great American flag. These are the values that unite us tonight. These are the values that bind our country. These are the values the American people share deep in their souls, and these are the values that Republicans will champion all across the land, and that's what's happening, and that's why people love what you're doing. That's why people are loving the Republican Party again. Our task is to be confident in these truths, certain of this vision, bold in our actions, and forever loyal to the citizens we serve. If we stay true to our mission, and we have to stick together like they do. They got nothing else on us. But like I said, they stick together. If we remain firm in our convictions, if we always put America first, then there will be no limit to the progress that we will make, no bounds to the good that we will do, no ceiling on the heights that we will reach, and no end to the victories we will achieve. We will win, 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 and we will keep on winning. You know, I tell that story, and some people love it, and probably some don't, but I think they all love it. I'm going to win a place like, here we go. I'm going to use Dan as an example. I'm in North Carolina, and I'm going to say we're going to win again. We're going to win so much, right, Dan? We're going to win so much. We're going to win, win, win. And our country, you go back, and we haven't been doing so much winning with trade and with all of these different things. And I'm going to go to Dan Bishop, and I'm going to say, Dan, we're going to win. And they're going to come in to see Dan. They're going to say, please, please, stop the president from winning. We're winning so much. Dan, go visit. You're a new congressman. Go to the Oval Office. He respects you because unlike these other people, he doesn't know you so well, so you are still respected. And please see the president and talk to the president. Tell him to stop winning so much. We don't want to win so much in the great state of North Carolina. And I'm going to say, Dan, I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. We're going to keep winning, winning, winning. Right, Dan? We're going to keep winning, winning, winning. Congratulations. After all we've achieved and after everything that we've accomplished, our message is simple. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Together, we will make America stronger and safer and prouder and greater than ever before. And I want to thank everybody for being tonight. You are a terrific group, and I know almost all of you. I like most of you. I know all of you. Now, you're a terrific group, and I think we're going to have a terrific long time together. And Kevin and everybody, I want to thank you. This was an incredible evening. Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. Thank you.